you've got public servants and you've got government members of parliament who not only send their kids to use private healthcare and schooling, but they have shares. They have a direct investment in the industries that conflict with the work they're meant to be doing. Why would they ever have an incentive to improve? Because if they improve, their share portfolios go down.
You asked the question earlier. The system is so opaque and blacks cannot enter it. And once they are in there, or to enter it, there are incentives.
Yes.
That they go in there. And those incentives are crooked. And once they are in there, they cannot confess. Because if they confess, they'll face the wrath of the population. But we also know that that is happening. How do we do it? How do we as society confess this, remedy, and move forward? It's absolutely, I mean, Kakame, there were private schools that were opened in Rwanda.
Yes.
He didn't close them down. He just improved the quality of public schooling. So is the case in health. And there was no private incentive for privatization. In South Africa, they've hoodwinked a few of us who are black. The 9.2 million is the total. There are about 3 million households that are there. 1.4 million of them are black households. They've hoodwinked 1.4 million of our households, which is 5 million population, into these enclaves of monopoly. And we have become the fodder that then cushion the profitability of these monopolies. Whether it's in cars, whether it's in health, whether it's in education, all those private things are sponsored by this 1.4 million households. The 14 million of our compatriots who are black, well, give them SRD, what is this? Special...
Yes, social relief for distress, yes, 370 a month.
Give them the pension. They have no choice but to come and buy in these monopolies.
Correct.
But that part is not a necessary amount of money. It's just super profit. The profit is made on the margins of 1.4. These ones are, but those ones bring huge sums because of their size. Not because of the amount of money they have individually.
Per capita, yeah.
Yes. So this is how this thing is so rigged that it creates misery, it creates tensions. And that's why black people have the highest level of inequality, although they are the poorest.
You're saying within themselves?
Yes. We have
Never mind, just not even against whites, just within ourselves.
No, we have the highest inequality. The graphs of inequality by blacks is highest, and we cannot have peace. Absolutely not. The whites have the lowest inequality.
Amongst themselves.
And they can take whiskey, they can take grape juice, they can...
One of the arguments of NHI that I sat and listened to was exactly what you were saying with private healthcare versus public, where you spoke about super profits. Outside of the 71% and the 9% that you raised, for the average person to think about it, only 10% of South Africans have access to private healthcare, etc. The other 90% use public. But from a budget perspective, budget perspective, they both have almost the equal size.
The 10% have a hotel kind of scheme there.
Yeah.
Yes. And those institutions are listed on the JSE.
Yes.
And that's what's the incentive for investment in there. So the fight around, I mean, if you take Poor Mutwaledi, I was with him in Geneva at the World Health Organization Summit. And he sits with me and we talk. That was when he was trying to recruit 30,000 public health workers. He got them, not as many as 30,000.
Yes.
He ran out of money and the treasury pitted him against these people. And they got very angry against him.
Of course.
Now, here is the problem. The problem is that we have in South Africa is information is not allowed to be power. And this is where Mohlomi talks about integrated reporting, where when there is integrated reporting, Mohlomi says you can create new instruments of power. But go anywhere in government and ask for integrated, you will not find it. Call a minister here and ask him, let's talk about your integrated reporting system. There's none. And an integrated reporting means the one that you have in your cell phone, because every call you make goes in there. Here, there's nothing that is organized outside that unit, the cell phone that you have. In government, there isn't anything like a cell phone where everything is organized around that. Everybody comes with his piece of paper.
Yes.
And, yeah.
All in silos.
So that's why you see the YES, which is this Youth Employment Service. What is it called?
It used, I think it was it SEPO 5,000 before or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Now they come and report that, we have created 2 million employment opportunities. I say, but what is this nonsense? And these people have proximity to the president.
Yes.
And then the president ignores data from Stats SA. Because this one looks a little bit palatable, and then it goes in the budget speech.
Yes.
And all those other speeches.
Yes.
I mean, this useless data becomes a national data. Now, the problem is this, that we have independence. Each institution has this independence. Now, the Treasury and the Reserve Bank are economic actors. But they are independent of how the economy interacts. They are not economic actors. They are actually observers. Yet their mandate is to be economic actors.
Yes.
Stats SA has this independence. I used to have that independence. So I produce the numbers and then I sit back.
Of course.
And for a good reason, that it should be that way. You can't be a player and a referee in what you measure.
Yes.
Because then suddenly you have become a referee and you have encouraged this kind of policy.
Yes.
And the policy doesn't yield the results.
Yeah.
And then you start saying, no, I'll have to go and change that number. I have children in school, I have this and that and that.
It's a fact. You start cooking the books.
Yes, then you start cooking the books, and that will be wrong. However, there has to be space for interlocutors to deal with this data that comes out of Stats SA, that is produced independently, to interpret it and put it there as part of the integrated reporting system, that then puts questions to the likes of Treasury and Reserve Bank. Because, I mean, these guys get their bonuses whether the economy grows at 0.5% or 0%.
It's a fact.
Bonus for what?
Yes. For meeting KPIs, whatever that means.
So now, this independent independence is not right for society. You need to bring all this through integrated reporting to confront the weaknesses in the system and then start matching and creating we need new instruments of power to make this country work.